this is Steffi from Little Steffi Big World, and welcome back to the flip through series of my Northern Euro trip travel scrapbook album. This is part 3 of 5 books that I made, and if you haven't seen the other 2 videos, links are gonna be in the description below this video, and there's also gonna be a second video where I just flip through the album and there's just music. You don't have no talking from me, no explanations about the trip or the scrapbooking part of this album. The link to that video is also in the description below. Okay, let's just get into this. So I've got a little charm here. It says Sweden because that's the 3rd country we visited. The first one was Germany, the second one Denmark, and now it's about Sweden. We are on our way to Stockholm, and from there we're gonna go over to Oslo. We've been on this trip for 30 days. Back in July and August 2019 was my husband, my daughter was 13 months old at the time, and me. This book is gonna be about the 4 days in Stockholm and the first 2 days in Oslo. And we took the train from Malmo up to Stockholm, and this is the leaflet from that from the train, and it's all in Swedish, but I still kept it. I keep so much memorabilia from a trip, like this. This is the seat, you know, the headrest cover from our seat in the train. And so yeah, I just keep anything. I even have a separate video just on what kind of memorabilia you can take with you. So this is a way of me hiding my journaling, because yeah, I do struggle with my journaling. I do have a lot of journaling in the scrapbooks because it's about telling the stories, but in some ways I just try to hide it, or I try to keep it as minimum as I can. So there is the other part from that headrest. It goes over here, and I made a big pocket here, and it's got several different maps of Stockholm that I picked up throughout the time that we've been there. They're all very different, all very useful. I think we use these 2 the most, these 2, but this is also specifically about the museum, and ones are more detailed on some parts of the city, and some are more roughly about the area, and I just wanted to keep them all, just in case we go back or whatever, I don't know. I just like to look at them every now and then, because I do love maps. I really do love maps. So the accommodation we stayed at had mini cards as well. There are mini cards in the other 2 albums, and so here is a mini card with facts about Sweden, Swedish phrases, and this is about Sweden's capital, some facts here, tourist information, so I thought that was pretty nice. We stayed at a hostel, but you are not allowed to drink there. It's not known as a party hostel, and they even have, you know, the chairs for children and the little cribs for children, so it was more like a family hostel. From what I read on the internet, on the reviews and everything, this seemed like a good cheap option to stay in Stockholm and still be, you know, in a family friendly environment. So I've got some journaling in behind the business card from that, but there's also some here. When we arrived, our daughter, yeah, she was eating very messily, so I just kept it that. I've got a new stamp, a map, world map stamp that I stamped and fussy cut, and you're gonna see this a lot more throughout the album, so I use that a lot. So in the evening after dinner we went for a little stroll because we needed to get our laundry done. This is like day 13 of our trip. So we went over a little bridge. I mean, Stockholm's full of bridges and full of water, and it was a really nice evening stroll. We just walked away next to this church, because next to that church was a laundry, which is apparently something you see very rarely in Stockholm, because living houses do have their own like laundry service and stuff, so people don't need a specific laundry place. So we just wanted to see where it is so my husband could go there very early the next day because it's very popular with tourists, foreigners like us. So this is packaging from some snacks, some chocolate crunchy snack that we picked up there, and I loved it so much. This is actually the second packaging, and I made sure my husband just ripped off the little piece. We bought it, we went out the store, and he was about to rip it open because this was so nice. This was so fantastic. It was like, no, just a little piece, I want to keep it. So it's always going to remind me, if we ever go back or if we have someone visiting Sweden, we're like, bring this back. This is so nice. Just try it. It's really nice. There are different flavors. We tried a few other ones, but this was our favorite. So the next morning, my husband went to the laundry very early, and I slept in with our daughter, and then when my husband was back, we went to a very big playground with our daughter. So it's just capturing this, and then after lunch, we had lunch at the hostel. We went to see the famous town hall. So this is where the annual Nobel banquet is held, and we wanted to go in and do a tour, but there wasn't any English tour coming up within the next 2 hours, and we didn't want to go on any other tours, I mean in French or whatever, and it was very full of tourists, and we just skipped the tour inside. We just had a look around on the outside. So this is the little garden park that's next to it. So it's basically this little green area that you can see here. And then I just zoomed in. As I said, Stockholm there's full of water, lots of bridges. So I just did a little bit of journaling in behind there about that little park and how we stayed there, and that information that I got from Stockholm. There's a lot of water. This is the leaflet that I picked up from the city hall, and in my other albums, you know, the layers that I did earlier, because I tend to do them chronologically, I normally included the leaflets in the layouts, but now I'm tending to put them more into the rings, so I have more space on the layouts to play just with the embellishments and stuff. So it's just, you know, all the information about the town hall, the famous banquet, the Nobel Prize, and yeah, some pictures. So we haven't been inside. Would have been nice to do that, but maybe we should have looked up the times earlier or something. So we went to the National Museum, which was for free. We went to the children's part of it and mainly to the art and design part. We did take a few pictures, but I didn't want them to be in here. So this is just the floor map from that museum. It's the National Museum of Sweden, and it's free to go in. So we just had a little look, and this is just about exploring Stockholm, just going through the city hall, going through the old town, which is called Gamla stan. So I have a mini card here, and this is the main island, Gamla stan, and our hostel was way over there. So we were walking again a lot in Stockholm instead of taking public transport and paying for that. This paper here, actually I stamped the background. This didn't come with that, so I loved how this turned out. It's a little bit busy, that page. Just put some twine here, just experimenting with different techniques and different ideas. This is actually something I saw on Instagram, and I just thought this is so fantastic. I'm gonna link who I copied basically with this heart and the triangle. It's just a picture of our daughter who was very active in the evening. So, and it was a really nice picture here. And then the next day in the morning, she looked so cute as well. So it's just like, yeah, just do another layout with her. Of course, for me, my daughter was very important during that trip, so there is a lot of pictures of her and not so much maybe of attractions. This time we took another route. We went down the southern route over some bridges, and I even have a mini card of all the different pictures, but it broke here at the hanger, you know, where the little hole is. It broke a little bit, so I had to cut it off and just made a little flip here. So it was a very nice day, and we went over to Oslo. We passed the famous market, and this is a little park where we just had a little rest, and this is the Viking Postcard. And then just close by was a very nice church that we went into, the Maria Magdalena Church. So it's just a nice stroll, really nice neighborhood. And then we really had to hurry up to catch the free tour at the Parliament. So I have another pocket here with some booklets that I picked up from the Parliament. So this is about a guide to the Swedish Parliament with some more pictures. So we took quite a few pictures in there, but there was a big group. I think we were nearly 30 people. So I have pictures with them in it, and yeah, so I didn't include all of them. And this is just about how the Parliament worked, and some more pictures, you know, with the Parliament in action. You know, the tour was fantastic. The tour guide was really good in explaining everything, very good English, and there was another family with a little kid and a little toddler, baby actually, and she was very aware of us and making sure that we were comfortable, you know, the mother of the other baby and me especially. So it was really fantastic. It was such a good tour. It was amazing. We learned so much. I really recommend it. If you are in Stockholm, and if there are ever gonna be free guided tours ever again in the Parliament after coronavirus pandemic, go and see that. It's really good. Really is. These are just the two stickers that my husband and me got, that we had to put on our shirts to show that we are part of that group. Seats are limited. I think there are only like 25 places. Children's don't count, luckily, so you have to get in there early. So after that we went into Gamlestan again, and we wanted to do a fika, which is kind of a coffee break or something, just in Swedish. So we had some coffee, we had tea for me, we had some cake. Then just put here, you know, from my tea, the tea bag, and the little label from the tea bag. I'm more the tea drinker, my husband is more the coffee drinker. So we did pass the castle. I think the castle is actually like next to the Parliament, or the Parliament is very close, and opposite is the National Museum that we went into. We didn't go into the castle. We've seen so many castles in Copenhagen, and we decided not to visit this one, but I think this would have been a really nice one as well. Instead we went to a museum, which was for free. I researched all of this before we went, so we decided not to do, I think there's a Stockholm card or something, so we went to this museum instead, which is the Museum of World Culture. So I just cut off pieces from the leaflet. This time I really did it. No, this was my intention when I picked up these leaflets. I wanted to incorporate these, like cut them out and put them in the backgrounds and stuff, like I did with my Portugal album, my second Portugal album, doing more collages like this. And in the end I used the memorabilia mainly as they are. So this tag conceals my journaling that's in behind there. There's some more in here. Oops. So I've cut the part of the museum with all the information. On the back there's some other museums which are for free as well, which you could go into, but I was most interested in this one. And this is the map. So it's got a lower floor. It's the first picture showing the part of the lower floor, and here is a picture of the upper floor up here. Oh, I think this part here. It was just nice to have a look. I think the most interesting part was downstairs with the mummies from Egypt. So I have this really big DIY envelopes. They're from Simple Stories, and you can just decorate them the way you want. I really like this. So the next day, I think we got up quite late. We went down. This is the Royal Dramatic Theatre, and just as we stood there was some kind of military parade or something going by, so I just took a picture. And I've said this with the other album as well, because this is not 12 by 12, it's set only packaging, it's 30 by 30 centimeters, but it's actually just 29 centimeters high, so 11 inches. Or 11 and 3/8 inches, something like that. It's only 28 centimeters wide due to the holes, so it's only 11 inches wide. I have to cut 2 stripes every time, so this is one of the layouts where I try to use loads of stripes. Well, we went over to Djurgården, which is another famous island of Stockholm, because you have loads and loads of different museums, like the ABBA Museum, the Viking Museum, the Nordiska Museum, the Spirit Museum, loads and loads of things. A big garden, big park behind that, and it's very green, surrounded by water again. And yeah, it's really nice. There is the museum, the Nordisk Museum. We didn't go into it, but right in front there were some food trucks, and there was one vegan food truck, Vigo Smegan. And my husband is vegetarian, and I like to eat a lot of vegetarian food, so we could, you know, try different things. And this was really good. It was like falafel and couscous, and it's really nice, and also not too expensive. So we enjoyed this a lot, having a really nice lunch. And then we went for a walk over the garden, and we took a really nice selfie. I wish I could show you her face, because she's not looking happy. She's absolutely looking like, not another selfie, get me out of here. She's like looking to the side like, oh my god, I don't know these people. So I did this frame. Actually, this is my favorite layout. Out of the 150 layouts that I did, this is my absolute favorite. Although her face is just so funny, that's actually the best part of it all. I do have a process video of this layout. I didn't film a lot of the 150 layouts. I think I only did like 10 in total, and I've only shown like 4 or 5 so far for the other 2 albums, and this is the only one for this album. That you can find the link below in the description or on my channel. I'm gonna put the info card over there. This was actually a scrap lift challenge from the Scrap Academy, and I think this turned out really well. This is a statue of the lady working for peace in the world, and it looked really nice in reality, and she's got these little details, very touching, my opinion. I really like this one, so I really wanted to give it something special, something this wasn't my style so far. I've never used vellum and this big piece, you know, that's really coming up from the page, these big letters. Normally I put these on like the cover and stuff, but I like how it turned out. So later on we went to the playground again to do the one we've been in the morning, or the day before, was it? I don't know. So yeah, lots of pictures of my daughter playing. So that was it for Stockholm. We took the train again, so this is the cover from the headrest, going from Stockholm over to Oslo in Norway. You can't imagine how beautiful the landscape is unless you have been there already. Then you know what I'm talking about. All the forests, all the little lakes, all the rivers, all the hills. It was just amazing. And taking a picture with your smartphone out the train window, you know, this is like one of the only ones that turned out nice and could give you, you know, just an image, just a tiny bit of an idea how beautiful it was. And although it was quite a long train trip, we managed very good. Yeah, our daughter was very good. She was sleeping a lot. So I arrived in Oslo, and I have some maps and a guide here as well. This is from the Hop On, Hop Off guide. And this is just some more information, a map back here. And this, I like this one as well. We used this, I think, for our first proper day. This is how green Oslo is. This is like the main city center where all the museums and everything is. And we stayed up here, and with this map we did a little tour around this area here. And this is another famous park, the Frogner Park, and I'm going to show you more about this later. So when we arrived, this is the map, this is where we arrived at the central station, and this is where our accommodation was. So we walked all the way up here, and this is the key card holder of that accommodation. So I've put the business card in here and also our receipt. As I don't stick this kind of paper down. It's thermal paper, and it's gonna fade away after a while, and then I'm just gonna throw it out. This I cut out from the Oslo magazine because it was completely in Norwegian, and there were not so many like pictures in there that reminded me of our trip. It was more about the restaurants and bars, so I didn't keep this magazine, but I cut out the word Oslo. I picked up this Viking Postcard. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know, it's from a exhibition, yeah, at the historical museum. There were several door hangers in our apartment, so I just kept one of them, and it's pretty sturdy, like thin plastic, it's not paper. And I put a green tie and a red one because it's green on one side and red on the other one. Another picture of my daughter at the playground, which was very, very close to our apartment, where we stayed a lot. We spent quite some time there. And after playing, she was very tired. My husband was tired as well, so I was awake taking pictures, you know. And they woke up when the cleaning lady came into our apartment. So it was a short sleep. And after that we went on that little walk with the help of the green map. So we went to the Botanical Garden, so this is one of the pictures there. We took quite a few pictures, but this one is actually like a Viking ship, and it shows plants and things that they tried to, or they took that on the boat, how they survived on long trips, I mean food wise. So that was very, very interesting. So I put a little bit of the journaling back here, and this is a little river that we went up to, and on the other side is the Mathallen. I knew this was kind of a hall where you get loads to eat and stuff, but I didn't know it was very, very big. I just thought it was like this tiny hall, and it looked like a private party to me, so I didn't want to go in. Just later on, when I looked at the internet, I mean later on when we were back from the trip, I didn't know it was that big. I was like, maybe you should have gone in and just have a look around. Yeah, and that's already the end of this book. The first one was actually the biggest one, and then the second, was pretty big as well. And this is just having a look at Stockholm, getting a feel of Oslo. We're actually doing a little bit more in Oslo before we go on to Bergen, where we're staying with my cousin and her family, which was really nice. So stay tuned to my channel, subscribe if you want. If you like that video, give it a thumbs up. And I'm gonna be showing you just one more process video before I show you the fourth part, which is gonna come up on my channel in about 2 weeks. So see you then, stay safe and scrapbook on, take care, and bye bye.